Hello and welcome. If you are looking to get more information about shipping on eBay, some tips on how to make that happen, how to be accurate in it, how to get used to it, and how to just be okay with shipping on eBay. Maybe you're coming from Poshmark, Mercari, or another selling platform and you just want to know more about shipping. Maybe you're just too intimidated by the eBay shipping process and haven't done it yet. This is the video for you then, because I am going to go over a very simplified little tutorial of shipping on eBay. And I hope that you, some of it you might already know and some of it might be brand new to you. So I hope that if you watch this video, you will get something out of it. And if you're like me, I love it when people get right to the point. So I'm going to get right to the point and I'm going to get going. And by the way, I have been a reseller on eBay part-time for the past 20 plus years. And I used to teach classes. Shipping has changed a lot over the years, but some of the things remain the same. When you are going to list an item on eBay, I personally use my phone. If you use the internet, if you used your computer or whatever, that is going to make it a little bit easier, at least for the first time. So let's just go over it. Once you start listing your eBay item, you have the title, you have the description, you have all of the things that you're supposed to have so far, and then you get to this little section, shipping. You get to the shipping section. And it's like, oh gosh, so many, I know this is where a lot of people stop and they say, oh, just forget it. I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with all the monkey business. Trust me, once you get used to it, it's not hard. It is the easiest thing ever, and you will not understand why people aren't doing it. And so you'll be dropping off your stuff at the post office while people are waiting in line. You'll be going right to the front to drop it right there at the counter. So, all right. The first thing to know is, over the years, how shipping has evolved on eBay is now they require you to have a shipping policy. If you're any kind of serious at all, you have to have a shipping policy. And why do you have to have a shipping policy? The reason for that is there are so many things to consider when it comes to shipping on eBay. There is what kind of service do you want to use? FedEx, the post office, UPS, something else? Do you want to have it picked up locally? Do you want to, where are you shipping it from? These are all considerations. Another consideration is, what kind of box do you use? What kind of shipping materials do you use? How big are they? How much do they weigh? Other considerations are you going to ship this item? Are you willing to ship it internationally? So these are all considerations, and it's really hard to just enter this all every single time. There's also, by the way, shipping to how long will it take you to ship? Do you charge any extra fees for shipping? These are all things that you put in a policy, and what you do by making your own policy is you make yourself more organized, and you also make it super easy for yourself in the future. So let's go into this screen. Is what you hit on the computer when you are going through an eBay listing. It comes to a place where it says shipping policy. First thing for you to know is you cannot create a shipping policy on your phone. You have to create shipping policies on the computer. By the way, you can make unlimited shipping policies, but the only thing you can do from your phone while you're listing, if you're listing on your phone, is to select a shipping policy. You can search for one, you can select it, but you can't edit and you can't create new shipping policies on your phone. So I recommend for the first time when you're going to sell something, if you know it's going to be, let's just say women's clothing, because that's what I do more than anything myself, and I know some of you do too. If you know it's going to be women's clothing, make a shipping policy for the item you sell the most. So let's just sell for women's clothing. You make a shipping policy for that item, and if you encounter needs for other shipping policies as time goes on, that's fine. You can add more. But to start out, just create one shipping policy and let that be for the item you sell the most. And shipping, by the way, clothing is so easy to ship too. So anyway, that's it just depends on what you sell, I guess. Okay, so shipping policies have to be created on the computer. So we are going to go into creating a shipping policy. And then if you go to view, ship, edit, that'll obviously view the shipping policy is just look and see what it is. Edit means, like I said, you can only do that from the computer, but edit means you can edit it, change it from what it was before and keep the same name, or you can create one from scratch. So what you're going to want to do is create a shipping policy And this is creating a shipping policy. This is the screen that comes up for you when you click on create shipping policy. And creating it makes it available for your listing. So once you create it and save it, it's available for unlimited for your listings from time goes on. All right, and policy name, I would suggest you start out with a name like starting shipping policy or main shipping policy or clothing shipping policy or something like that. And by the way, you're probably going to have a different shipping policy if you're shipping clothing to if you're shipping a giant lamp or something like that, because those are, that's just different shipping, and you're probably not going to ship it internationally and whatnot. So, all right. So the first thing is to give it a name. Like I said, give it the name and then give the policy a description. The description is going to be something like, this is the policy I'll use for all clothing items, something like that. And then the next thing that comes up in the shipping policy is U.S. shipping. And do you want, basically you have three main options here when it comes to shipping. The first thing in the shipping policy, the U.S. shipping. Do you want to offer the flat shipping? Do you want to offer calculated? Or do you, the next two are freight and no shipping. Let's talk about all of them. If you are choosing a flat rate for shipping, that means you're going to say, this item is for sale, it's $8 to ship in the U.S. By the way, this is like U.S. only that we're talking about right now. $8 for the U.S. Now, mind you, if you live in Wisconsin and you ship something to Minnesota, it might cost $3, where it might cost $8 if you're shipping it to California. So, that's why flat isn't always the best. I actually do use a flat shipping policy, but that is because I almost always charge too little to the customer and I pay the extra myself. Customers don't really know that, but because I have a lower shipping policy, I think that gets me more sales. It makes me way more competitive. So, however, it's not the most accurate way of doing things. But so anyway, a flat shipping policy is, here's how much it costs for everybody. This is what it costs you if you want to buy it. You can improve the accuracy by saying, here is a calculated shipping policy. The upside to that is it's more accurate. A calculated shipping policy, what happens is you plug in the weight and the dimensions of the package you're going to ship. So you kind of have to have a scale ready, and you have to, know pretty well what it's going to cost and the package is going to be. By the way, that gets easier as time goes on as well. So you calculated, when a customer looks at your item, eBay will look at their zip code and they will calculate the shipping for that customer based on where they are located. So if you have a 10-ounce shirt and it costs, like I said, $4 to ship to Iowa, it's probably going to cost more like $9 to ship to California if you're in Wisconsin, let's just say, for example. So the customer is going to pay more depending on where they're at, but they're going to pay less the closer they are to you. Another consideration for doing calculated shipping is if you live on one coast. Like I live in Minnesota, so I'm pretty central. Having calculated is probably going to be a little more even keel, but consider that there are lots of buyers on both coasts and create your shipping policy accordingly. You don't want all the people in California to not buy your item because it's too expensive. You don't want that either. So, all right. So flat cost is same to buyers, calculated, varies by location. And then one additional option is free shipping. I know a lot of eBay customers think that free shipping is some magical place where you can just, eBay is covering the shipping. That is absolutely not true at all. eBay does not cover shipping, ever. eBay does not cover shipping. Shipping is paid for by the seller usually, unless they click on free shipping, in which case the seller is paying for the shipping. So someone's always paying for the shipping. It is never free. In fact, it keeps getting more expensive all the time with all the rates for shipping companies. So okay, so you've got flat, you've got calculated, and you've got free. So those are really the three options. There are two other options. There's freight for large items over 150 pounds. If you have those, I don't do a lot of freight shipping. You can do freight if you're used to shipping that. And you can do local pickup, no shipping, local pickup only. I've never used it. I don't do that. I only ship nationwide and internationally. So I don't do a lot of local pickup. So anyway, those are the options in the US. like I said, the benefit of doing the flat cost, just here's your price, it's so much easier when you're listing things. Plunk in a price, and then ship it to them. Calculated's a little harder because you have to know the weight and the dimensions of the item, but it's also more accurate, and you might get more buyers. So, all right, that is a little bit about flat or calculated or free shipping. Moving on to the different ways to ship items. So you get to decide how you want to ship, which is a really good thing, by the way, because in some locations, depending on where you live and what you have to ship and what you have to sell, sometimes people are going to be better off using UPS or FedEx. I personally use the post office. The post office goes to most places in the U.S. and it also, most places have a post office. At least there's going to be one semi-close by to someone's house. So I use the post office for the items that I sell, which is mainly clothing and shoes and accessories. The post office does an amazing job. They can run a little slow sometimes, and their rates are not, dirt cheap or anything, but they recently added a ground option, so it's cheaper to ship via ground now too. So, all right. So anyway, you can choose to give customers one option of the way to ship your thing. You can say, I just want to ship it, USPS, US Postal Service ground. You can choose that. And eBay gives you, in this chart here, they give you kind of an estimate. This is only an estimate, by the way. They give you an estimate of what the different types of services, shipping services, how long they take to get to the customer. So if you ship it, tomorrow, it'll take, you can see in the chart here, if you ship it USPS Ground Advantage, that'll take 2 to 5 business days. If you ship it priority mail, that's going to take 1 to 4 business days. It is also going to be more expensive, though, of course. So consider that in mind. You can also give the customer 2 choices. You can say, here, my default will be USPS Ground Advantage, but if you want it overnight, I'm going to put an overnight option in there for the customer. You can do that if you want to. I don't do that personally, but if you have things that people might, really want fast, you can add as many as you want. Just put it in your shipping policy, which is what we're still working on right now. Don't forget. All right, so that is shipping options and ways to ship. One little more note I will say is you may not know if you're not doing a lot of shipping yet. If you're in an area that doesn't have, that maybe you don't want to use the post office for some reason, you want to give someone else a try. UPS and FedEx do have additional options for shipping, for dropping off packages. So let's just say your FedEx location is 50 miles away. You don't want to drive there, but they may have like a Walgreens near you where you can drop it off. So and UPS does have drop-off locations as well. For instance, in my town, it's the Ace Hardware store. That's the UPS drop-off location. So keep that in mind when thinking about shipping. Sometimes you'll get a customer that will say, please ship UPS. It doesn't happen very often, but it can happen. All right, moving on to the next part of the shipping policy, which is handling time. All right, eBay wants to know how long it's going to take before you ship the item. I'm not an inside scoop person at eBay, but I think part of the reason they want you to select a handling time is, they want to know that they and the customer both want to know, if I buy this, when will you ship it? Next week? Tomorrow? And the lower your handling time, of course, the better you're going to show up in the algorithm, because eBay wants their service to be good. They want their website to be good. They want their customers to get their items fast. And so I personally, you can select same day handling time if you want to. I don't do that. That's a little too risky for me. I select 1 day handling time. You can see here's the handling time. You can choose 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. But don't select, more than, I recommend don't ship more than 2 days. Don't select more than 2 days. Someone waiting 2 days for you to ship their item is going to be probably cranky. And then it's going to take the shipping time as well after that. So also, it's good for you to know that whatever handling time you select, If you do not ship within that time frame, because eBay's going to have your tracking information, okay? If you don't ship within that time frame, you're going to be penalized by eBay for shipping late. And if you get too many of those, your service level will go down. You won't show up in the algorithm as much. You do not want that to happen. You want to be showing up high up in the algorithm. So select your handling time very carefully and make sure you pay attention. Whenever you ship an item, if you said you were going to ship it within 1 business day, you have to get that item out the next business day for sure. eBay will have it. They track it all. It's all done automatically. There's not people sitting there monitoring it, obviously, but it's all tracked. So that is a little bit about handling time. Moving on to international shipping. That is a bear of a subject, isn't it, though? People don't generally like international shipping. They don't like dealing with it. And but it's not that bad. It's not that bad. All right, so here's just a first thought about it. International shipping, if you do not choose to ship via internet, if you choose that you don't want to ship yourself overseas, eBay will offer an international shipping option on your behalf, and they will, if a customer over in Germany buys your item, they will have you ship it somewhere in the U.S. and then they will actually take it, print off the documents, and then send it to Germany. I need to pause for a second. I'll be right back. Okay. So anyway, international shipping, as I was saying, if you do not offer any international shipping, if you say I do not, if you select no international shipping, there still is international shipping, believe it or not. eBay will take it and ship it on your behalf. That's great, right? That's great. eBay started that many years ago. It is pretty great. However, what's not great is that they will offer your item, but they will way upcharge the shipping for doing that service. They charge that to the customer, by the way, not you. So they will offer the opportunity for someone, like let's just say in Germany, to get your item or wherever. And then they will handle the shipping. You will mail it somewhere in the U.S. They will take that item, print the documents, and mail it to them. So they will deal with any problems with customs and tariffs and things like that on your behalf. That'll happen without you being involved. Now, it might sound scary, but you can also offer shipping yourself. And I've done it for many years. I don't ship a whole lot. I'm a part-time reseller, but I don't ship a whole ton of things internationally, but I do ship some. I haven't had many problems over the years. They make it pretty easy to actually ship the item yourself. You just package it as you would, and then you ship it to the address they gave you. The customer will be charged whatever you put in your shipping policy. So if you choose to ship it direct, you can say I want to ship internationally, and that means you're going to do it yourself. You are willing to try it yourself, and then it will calculate the rates for the customer based on what you say. I do not recommend trying to do a flat rate of shipping overseas because it's too hard to know what the rate is in Brazil and the rate is in, wherever, Turkey and, Greece. It's just too hard. And so I would say if you're going to try international shipping, the best thing to do is try do a calculated and make sure your calculations are correct. The shirt's 10 ounces. It's going to go in a 11 by 10 by 2 inch package. And then the customer will be charged accordingly. You have a much better chance of making an international sale if you do this. And because the shipping rates are going to be way lower. I mean, a lot lower. So if you offer direct international shipping, you do have to print some documents to go along with your post office. Well, depending how you ship it, but you have to print additional documents. I would say read up on a little bit before you do it, but don't be too afraid of international shipping. A lot of people do it all the time, and you still have seller protections on eBay, so that is good. So that is your shipping policy. Let's just see here. that is the shipping policy. One note about international shipping: if you have found or you have heard or something that there's certain countries you do not want to ship to, you can exclude those countries from. You can choose the choose the countries you want to ship to, and you can also exclude countries you do not want to ship to. You can do that while you're creating the policy. All right, so that is a little bit about a shipping policy. Once you have the shipping policy done, you can add that to the items that you are, as you're listing them. You can add that to the items. If you find that it's not working for your items and you need to edit it, you can edit that and go to your computer, your PC, and edit a policy and create another one, whatever you need to do. So that is a little bit about shipping. I do want to say another little word about things that you need for shipping. There are obviously things that you have to have if you're going to be shipping. One of them is a shipping scale. I do have a shipping scale linked in my links in my main profile here. And it's a great shipping scale because it goes down to just a few ounces and it goes up to 150 pounds. And it also has the readout of the weight is on a cord. You can pull it over here so that when you put the package on the scale, you can still read the weight. Nothing worse than having a scale and then you put a big box on it and it covers up the readout of the weight. So this shipping scale is only about, I think it's like $25 or $30. If you click on the link, I will get a small commission for that. So I have loved the scale. It goes on batteries or it goes on electric. If you have it running on the battery, it'll turn off after just, I think, about 10 seconds because it doesn't want to burn out the battery. So it's a great shipping scale if you're looking for a shipping scale. Another thing that you will probably want to have is a label printer. And I know that's also intimidating for people because you probably, if you've sold on other, maybe you already have one if you sold on Poshmark or Mercari. But anyway, having your own label printer is so freeing. Before I had a label printer, I just cut out, I printed the labels on a piece of paper and cut them, and then you have to tape them and things like that. That's no bueno. That's no fun. It's so inefficient. And if you had 10 items to ship, it's really annoying to have to cut everything. So there, in my links, you will find a really, really easy to use label printer along with the label paper that you have to buy separately. They're both in my links. It's a plug and play label printer. And I mean, you just put it into the USB port. I had it on the go with me one time and I plugged it into my laptop and I was able to print a label immediately. It's super easy to use, and you print off the label on that 4x6 label, you peel it off the paper and you put it on your package, and away we go. So that is a little bit more about the shipping scale and the labels. And I hope this was useful. I hope that you found the shipping useful. If you have any comments, I would love to hear them in the comment section here. But anyway, good luck, and thank you so much for watching. If you like my content, feel free to subscribe to my channel. It's very much appreciated. Thanks so much, and have a great day.